In the most narrative of human history, few truths are as profound and scientifically well supported as the idea that every single human being alive today shares a common ancestral origin in Africa. This concept, widely known as the recent African origin model or out of Africa theory, has fundamentally reshaped our understanding of who we are, where we came from, and how deeply interconnected the human species truly is. The scientific foundation, tracing our ancestral roots, anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, are believed to have first appeared in Africa approximately 300,000 years ago. This understanding is based on an extensive body of fossil, genetic, and archaeological evidence that converges on Africa as the birthplace of our species. One of the most significant fossil discoveries underpinning this theory was made at Jebel Irhoud in Morocco. There, archaeologists unearthed skulls and other remains that date back to roughly 300,000 years ago, representing the oldest known specimens of Homo sapiens. These findings shifted the geographic focus of early human evolution beyond the previously emphasized East African sites, such as Omo Kibish in Ethiopia, where remains dated to around 195,000 years were once considered the oldest. A Pan-African genesis. Not just one cradle, but many. While East Africa, particularly modern-day Ethiopia, has long been highlighted as a likely origin point, recent research has expanded the scope of human evolutionary studies. Scientists now propose a Pan-African model in which early human populations were dispersed across different parts of the continent, evolving together in a network of interconnected groups. This more complex view of our origins suggests that, rather than emerging from one singular population, modern humans arose from the genetic and cultural exchange among multiple populations spread across Africa. These populations were not isolated. Instead, they migrated, interbred, and exchanged ideas and technologies, collectively shaping the evolutionary path of Homo sapiens, Botswana, and the genetic story. A particularly intriguing development in recent years came from genetic studies involving the mitochondrial DNA of the Khoisan people, one of the oldest known human lineages still in existence. These studies suggest that a significant ancestral population may have lived in the Makgadikgadi-Okavango region of what is now northern Botswana around 200,000 years ago. This region, once a vast and fertile wetland, would have provided an ideal environment for early human life. The findings do not necessarily displace other origin sites, but rather complement the broader picture of early human evolution by highlighting one of several key regions where modern humans may have thrived and evolved. The genetic evidence, a shared heritage. Genetic research, particularly the study of mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome, has played a vital role in corroborating the African origin theory. These genetic markers, passed down through generations with relatively little variation, serve as molecular time capsules that allow scientists to reconstruct ancient human migration patterns. Studies consistently show that the deepest splits in the human family tree, those that represent the earliest divergences in the lineage of Homo sapiens, occur among African populations. This supports the idea that humans lived in Africa for tens of thousands of years before dispersing to other continents. Once small groups of early modern humans began leaving Africa around 60,000 to 80,000 years ago, they gradually spread across the globe, populating Asia, Europe, the Americas, and eventually Oceania. All non-African populations today are derived from these relatively recent migratory waves, which means that every human being outside of Africa descends from ancestors who first emerged on that continent. Rethinking human evolution. The story of human origins is not a straightforward one. Instead, it is a tapestry woven from genetic inheritance, environmental shifts, and cultural development. New archaeological finds and advancements in genomics continue to challenge simplistic models of a singular Eden or one definitive ancestral homeland. The emerging consensus is that early humans were dynamic, adaptive, and mobile. Africa, with its vast ecological and geographic diversity, provided the perfect stage for these evolutionary dramas to unfold. From its savannas and highlands to its wetlands and forests, Africa nurtured the development of intelligence, language, tool-making, and the complex social behaviors that define us today. One humanity, one origin. The scientific journey tracing the roots of humanity to Africa is not just a story of bones and DNA. It is a profound reminder that all humans, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or culture, are part of a single species with a shared origin. This understanding carries immense implications, not only for science and history, but also for how we perceive ourselves and each other in a world often divided by differences. Recognizing that we all descend from the same ancient ancestors in Africa is a unifying truth, one that underscores our shared humanity and the deep evolutionary connections that bind us together as members of the human family.